Hi everybody and welcome to Monday Glass Night. I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb. And welcome to the ARTyRV Livestream tonight. If you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q and we'll be happy to answer it. Tonight's pretty exciting.
It is. We've got the viewer showcase and we have a lot of people here in the chat room tonight. Welcome everyone.
Welcome everyone. Martha's here. Judith is here. They're two of our members, long-standing members. Sue is here. Judith is here. Julie's here. Shas Ray and Rick Day. And welcome everyone. Ray is here.
Hey Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Good to see you, buddy.
Welcome everyone. So we have a good lineup tonight.
And we had a great week. We had a great weekend. Storms a little bit abound. I guess Saturday we had some storms, but other than that, you know, we were okay, and hope everybody out there in our viewer land is safe from all those bad weather that we've been having. So, you know what, Barb? I think we need to thank our sponsor tonight, Sunshine Glassworks. Thank you, Sunshine, for sponsoring the ARTyRV Q&A on Monday nights. We appreciate it. And you know what? Sunshine is the place not only for your hand tools, but you can purchase your jewelry box hinges. You can purchase the tubes to make your own hinges, or they have the pre-made hinges that you can purchase and attach right to your jewelry boxes.
Right. So Sunshine's the place to go for that.
You better believe it. And Sunshine, thank you so much for sponsoring the ARTyRV Monday Night Live Q&A.
And also want to give a shout out to Ray. Ray's here tonight. He's our moderator. If you have any questions, Ray will help you out.
Thank you, Ray, for everything you do. We appreciate it.
He'll bring it to our attention. So thank you, Ray, for everything you do. We appreciate you. So tonight, after the live stream, we have a premiere.
That's right. We have, well, not we. Barbara has done another video premiere for y'all tonight. Starts at 8:05. And I kind of sound like I'm on the Turner Network. It starts at 8:05 Eastern.
And, okay, so if you have a question, put it in the queue. I have some questions here, and I'll just start answering.
Okay, Barb, let's
Carmen
roll.
has a question. Can you explain the process of reapplying putty to an existing installed stained glass panel? Someone called me about a window they have that is leaking, and they don't want to remove it.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's quite the process. Simply because it is a little bit messy. My suggestion would be if you have to glaze the entire window, would be to mask off the outside of the frame with some sort of paper or tarp, and just putty it as if it were laying down flat. Now, the smaller pieces or painted pieces that are on the window, you're not going to want to get near those except by hand. And if it's a larger window, you can putty it. Just make your putty a little bit thicker, but it can be done vertically. And make sure that all that cleanup and everything, make sure you charge accordingly, and be very careful if you'll need to glaze the inside as well. So that's going to require quite preparation time so that you don't mess up anything inside.
Carmen, I was just curious. Have you seen the job yet? You might want to look at it and make sure that he said that it's leaking. So, sometimes people don't want it, taken out of the existing
because they
frame,
think it's the best thing for it.
But sometimes you're going to have to take it out of the frame. So you're
Right.
going to have to make a decision.
I would
call
look
there.
at the job and because they may not want to remove it because they don't want to remove it, but you, sir, are the stained glass artist, and I think or ma'am, you are the stained glass artist, and I think I would look at the job and then offer them your professional opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to do something that's just a stopgap and doesn't last a year.
You can't Willie McNilly it, and it'll have to be done right, because once you waterproof it, any water that comes in, now it's yours. Keep that in mind too, because you're going to have to warranty it, and if you're going to have to warranty it, you may have to remove that window to do it correctly.
So I guess everyone heard the answer to the question about the hinges. It's sunshine glass. So I had two questions.
Oh, we did.
about
Okay,
hinges.
and we also
Yes.
have a video on how to apply the tube hinges that you can make yourself just by ordering the two different size tubes from Sunshine.
Mario wants to know, after you make a piece, can we just paint in the glass and bake it?
Well, no, if you make the piece, the foil or the lead isn't going to take the heat that it requires to bake the paint on. So you do all your painting and baking first, and then you install it in the window. Now, the paints we use, we go up to 1275 to 1375 degrees. So your painting should be done prior to you installing it in the window itself. So, yeah.
Check out our painting videos. They explain the process and explain the
And hopefully
paints
they'll
that we
help you
use.
out, yeah, and the paints that we use. So.
Okay, so Kathy, we got that question. Sunshine glass for the hinges.
Yeah.
Okay. Carmen said it's two large windows. Oh, I think it's above my pay grade. It might be. It sounds like it might be a really big job if it's two large windows. So, take a look at it. See what you think.
I would look at it, photograph it, and, decide, because, too, in a church, you're going to have to remember, because you're working on their property, they're going to require liability insurance. They're going to require a lot of different things. So, you have to treat it like a business, because it is. So.
Ray likes my shirt. Thank you. This is another Life is Good shirt.
You better believe it.
So they're my favorite t-shirt company, besides All Star Screen Printing. But
Phil, you got a
I'm
plug,
sorry.
buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Happy glass night, everyone.
Yeah, it's Monday night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
If you have a question, just put it in the queue. Put it in the chat and put it in there with a queue, and we will be happy to answer
We'll
it.
try anyway. We'll do our best to answer it. So, reapplying. You know what? I think we've glazed several windows vertically before, but we've also done the repair work on them without taking them out. Replace 1, 2, or 3 pieces of glass and then putty it, and then we have puttied and the entire windows too. Reglaze them on site vertically. But you might want to talk about if these windows are getting old enough that they're leaking and everything. Not only might want to look at reglazing them, but you might want to look at putting a protective covering in front of them. And if you can use a polycarbonate, use a non-yellowing polycarbonate or a UV protective polycarbonate. It's going to be pretty expensive, but then they don't have to worry about the water, and you don't have to worry about, once you get it glazed, you don't have to worry about any more water coming in that you're going to be responsible for. So,
Okay.
protective covering is always best for windows anyway. I don't know, where you live at in the country, but I always try to encourage the churches to install a protective glazing in front of the windows. But we live in Hurricane Alley, so this is us. So we have to, lots of stuff flies around.
Pauline wants to know if we will be open over the holidays. We usually close Christmas Eve and open back up January after the New Year.
After the New Year.
Yes, that's our annual holiday. But we're here all the rest of the year, so.
Yeah, we don't work the day after Thanksgiving, that's all.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Because usually the children will come down and see us, and we spend some time with them.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That seems a long way away.
But it's really not. When
does.
we blink our eye,
I know.
we'll be buying turkey.
So happy spring, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Spring is upon us. It's absolutely. It was 70 degrees here today, and now we have a little bit of rain moving into the area, but it's absolutely just beautiful. Low humidity too, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind not sweating at all.
We had a question about what the kind of flux we use.
Okay.
So someone wanted to see what the bottle looked like so they could find it. But it is on our website.
Yeah,
and
so
the link is in our description of our
Yeah, so the
of a
flux
live stream.
that we use is ruby flux. Everybody knows that. That would be like a question for someone to answer if we needed it answered.
what
What kind of flux do you use? So we're going to share this with them right here, and I'll just turn that on. If you'll do the
Okay.
close-up cam,
Okay.
this is our ruby flux. This is how we buy it. We buy it in the gallons, and it's available on our site for in pints, which is a great studio size. So if you do go to our website and purchase the ruby flux that's available there to you, we will greatly appreciate it as well. So
Yeah, that's
But
on
that's
our
a ruby
Amazon
flux,
page
yeah.
under chemicals.
if-
The link is in the
if
description.
you use a
if you
lot,
use.
that's the way we buy it, is by the gallon, because we use a lot of them.
Ed wants to know if our past premiere videos are available to rewatch. Yes, sir, they are. They
Yep,
are.
They are it.
You can just go to our page, our YouTube page, and all the new Merle's Inlet premieres are under the Merle's Inlet playlist.
Right, and tonight's number 5, right? No, 4.
No, number 4.
I'm sorry,
and,
I'm way ahead of everybody.
Under the description for the upcoming premiere is a link to all the other past premieres. So you
Yeah,
asked
so-
and you received.
That's right, Ed. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Cindy wants to know, if you are going to double frame a piece with wood, do you still put caming on the edges?
Yes. Sure, you still either use your U cane or your H cane, which is what we use, is H. And so you still use that, and then you put it inside the frame. And that way you're assured that the lead's not going to stretch, nothing's going to come apart. The little hangers that you put on aren't going to release themselves in the middle of the night in your customer's living room and scare the fire out of them. So I would, once you do the lead and then frame it, it should be perfect.
What type of wood would you use for your frame? Martha wants to know.
Martha, we have a video called Frame It, actually. Isn't it, Barb? It's called
Yeah.
Framing It. But we purchase a pre-grooved white oak wood, and Sunshine has they're come in 6-foot lengths, and Sunshine has them. They have a groove right down the middle, and they're designed to put either 3/8 channel or the 3/8 lead in it, or they also make it for doing copper foil that has the, I think it's a 3/16 groove and a 3/8 groove. So you can use it for copper foil, but even if you use the copper foil, the wood that's designed for copper foil, you also want to make sure that you do finish the edges with your copper foil. But it'll slide right in there. It's really nice. I have several pieces of it.
Okay.
So yeah, the wood is available at Sunshine Glassworks as well.
Thank you.
And our framing it video will help you along with the process.
Magali needs rain, so if anybody out there can do some
Rain
dance for her, she would really appreciate it. Ray's got the link for the Ruby Flux
Thank you,
up
Ray.
in the chat, so you can take a look at that. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah. So take a look at the Ruby Flux. We've just found that over the years, this is another product that a friend of mine turned me on to almost 40 years ago, and the same person that turned me on to the putty recipe. So.
Yeah, and the H channel LED as well, right?
Around the outside, yeah.
All those little things.
All those little
from
tricks,
masters and
you learn from the masters, and some things you
hand it
forget,
down.
but then all of a sudden it's like boop, a little light comes on.
Yeah. So
And
we're
you're
here.
right
That's
there.
why we're here, to share all those little tips that were handed down to us. We're handing them down to you all.
That's right. It's all about sharing.
So
Well, great. I'm so happy that everybody came in and has checked this out. Ray, thanks for putting up that link. That's awesome.
yeah. So let's see. I did have a question
Okay.
about the Fletcher cutter.
The Fletcher cutter. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, the old ball cutter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what, Barb? I happen to have one here sitting at my table. Can you believe that?
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
brought it here, and I have to be careful because I can't pick my feet up because Miss Mary's laying on my feet.
She's being so good today.
She is, and she's having fun.
Okay. Well,
And she got a new ring for her tags today, so she's really happy.
so the question was, they know what the little notch is on the end of the. Let me put the close up on.
Okay.
They know what the little notch is on the end. So you might want to show that to the camera because you can't. It's not really close, is it?
So you can see the notches. Let me turn those sideways.
Yeah, I think you can see that. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Put it where the yellow glass is behind it. So there are 3 little notches here, and these little notches are used as breakers. But the ball on the end is also used as a breaker or to start your run or your score. So, yeah, it's kind of, this glass cutter has been around forever. This cutter is it's manufactured in the USA. It's been around forever. It's made by Fletcher, and Fletcher makes really a lot of good glass cutting and glass working scribing tools. So, so we're going to talk about, when we get to this evening's glass chat or our glass demo, we're going to talk a little more about this glass cutter, and I'm going to show you how to use it.
Okay. You want to show them how to use it now, or you want to do it during your glass demo?
Well, that's up to you. What
Okay.
would you like to do? You want me to show you how to use it?
Yeah.
All right.
What do they want us to do? Do
I
they
don't
want a
know.
glass demo now or later?
I don't know. But you know what? Here's the thing. It's really no different than my other glass cutter, other than the fact that it's smaller and much lighter and fits in my pocket a little easier. So this is my glass cutter that I keep in my pocket. There's my Fletcher. Now this Fletcher, this is the very first glass cutter that was handed to me back in the 70s.
You're old.
Very first cutter. This is the cutter that I learned to use.
I'm sorry.
So listen to this. That comes right off. And we know that the jaw, this jaw, okay, is used specifically for that reason. Now that made a nice break, just like my grousers would make.
And it squared that glass up nice too.
Squared
with
it
the
well
glass
because
square.
I'm using a square. You really should use a glass square. So let's do this. I'm going to cut this we're going to do a strip about 3/4 of an inch, but this time to start our run, we're going to tap it with the ball. Now this is a really pretty piece of glass. I hope y'all like it because the yellow makes me smile. So we're going to take our ball and we're going to tap it. All right, so now our score has started running, and we would be able to take our fingers, our hands, just like this, and pull down. Down, remember, down and away. Down and away. This yellow looks really good with this blue shirt.
It does. It
Yeah,
shows
it
up
does.
good,
Wow.
right?
Holy cow. So anyway, this is a glass cutter that, number one, you shouldn't be afraid of. Number two, it really works good, and you can do patterns. Listen. And we'll take this and we'll tap it.
Mark Mason.
And
Thank you,
pull it.
Mark.
Wow, Mark, that's awesome. I'm going to cut some more yellow glass, everybody.
That's crazy. Here, you do it.
That's crazy.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mark.
Mark.
We appreciate
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, so this glass cutter, and I don't know if I can break off a small amount, but I'm going to try. And you know, this glass is textured on one side, but believe it or not, it's textured on the top that I'm cutting too. All right, y'all.
Wow.
Okay.
That's impressive.
So, you know, this tool was used in the field quite readily. Where the glaziers in the field would use this to, if that piece of glass was just a little bit out of square, they would score that and take that thing and just nip it away and lick it and stick it right in the hole for the customer. And they wouldn't have to go back to the shop to regroup, organize, and cut another piece of glass. So we have that. You know, we have our regular tools. Here's my runners. You know that. How about that? My grousing pliers. Oh, and by the way, y'all, we did get a reorder of our Lepinet short 6.5 inch running pliers in. So when we're cutting this glass right here, whether we're using an old school cutter or we're using a modern cutter, whichever one, just remember, listen to your cutter. Don't change the pressure from the start to the finish. Keep it the same. And all those things will come together for you. And glass cutting and glass working will be much more fun for you and everyone else that can enjoy it. There you go. You can do that with that little cutter. That little cutter right there.
Mm-hmm.
And this yellow this was a beautiful color, Barbara.
It's going to make some more beautiful frit.
I think it is. We're going to make some frit, and we're also going to be making some little birds.
Okay.
People are going to be making them and taking them.
Okay, so yeah.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Ed. That was nice. That was very informative, and everybody loved it. We have a couple
Especially
questions.
Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you. We had a few questions come in. Do you like, Les wanted to know, do you like to seal the edge on mirror glass?
Yes, I do. However, if you don't seal it, what you're going to end up with is the silver flaking off the back from the acid and the flux. You know, because so what you want to do is, I like to use just clear fingernail polish, but I also like I try to avoid grinding the mirror. Do your cutting, do it well, and hand sand your mirror. And make sure you definitely sand the back edge of the mirror where the paint and the silver is, and then seal it with clear fingernail polish. I find that it lasts a lot longer. And I think I showed you all the jewelry box that I made for Barbara over 30 years ago. That mirror is still intact in the bottom, and I use clear fingernail polish.
Thank you, Ed. Brandon wants to know, I am using an old 6-pane window for a project. Do I need to use cane on the outside of my panels? I was doing foil for holding the pattern together.
Oh, if you're doing foil, what you need to do is just make sure that you tin the foil around the edge and make your panel the size that, and then put it in with some push points and take some white latex sealant, seal it in there and go on. We'd want to see that on next month's viewer showcase.
So the answer to that is no.
Yeah,
Just do
yeah,
your
no lead.
No
Yeah,
lead. Just
no
do
lead.
your
Just
copper foil.
Copper
panels.
foil and push points. Have fun.
Put them right in. Yeah.
Because your edge is going to be not seen anyway.
You're going to finish that edge, but not. Do you want to? Yeah, you probably do want to beat it up a little bit. But
Yeah, I would tin it, just to give it, tin it up.
To keep it
together. Finish the edges so that it gives you that strength, and then put it in, put some push points in it, and clean it up.
It'll be good to go.
It'll be beautiful. I can't wait to see it.
Ed said he can't get his Fletcher cutter to cut like that. AK Martinez needs a membership link. If you go to our YouTube page, it's in the there's a bunch of labels across the top, and it says membership, and just hit that, and it'll take you to that.
Yeah, I think if you
tell you all the perks and everything.
Yeah, well, thank you, AK. Appreciate that.
I can't get to links right here, but it's probably posted. I don't know if it's posted in the description or not, AK. But I can get it to you. I'll post it on the community page tomorrow.
I'll make a note of it.
Yeah.
How about that?
So that anybody that wants to be a member can go ahead and join. Thank you, AK. We appreciate that. Jennifer wants to know, have you tried the running pliers that turn so you can run a score around a turn? Those snibble schnitz.
No, those are, but we do have several people that watch the show that use them. And they like them. I haven't purchased a pair yet, but yeah, that's
maybe we will.
Maybe we will and try it, because it's very important if you can go around with those pliers and break out half rounds and stuff. The other thing is, the Morton system has a breaker bar, and it does a similar thing, except it's about 2 feet long, and you can really work that thing because the breaker underneath and on top slide along the rib of the breaker bar, so you can just follow that run as you go around your piece. But yeah, so those Sinklesmiths are really interesting pliers, and you know what? Sunshine does carry them. So.
Okay. What grit sandpaper Mary Beth wants to know?
220. 220 grit will do what you need to do, Mary Beth, to the back of those mirrors, and just 4 or 5 times, and it'd be really nice. Clean it up, seal the edge, and then put your copper foil on it.
AK, I'll put that on I'm sorry that it's hard to find. I will put it on the community page and post it. I'll do that later on this evening. Or tomorrow. I don't know what I got going on tonight.
Well, we got to get coffee because we're out of coffee.
We have the premiere. Yeah, we got to get coffee. We're out of coffee, man! Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought it was right there, but maybe not. What size of a hanging project, this is from Mario,
okay.
What size of a hanging project would you recommend to use U-cane for the borders for strength?
You don't want to hang anything off a cane at all, Mario. So if you're going to make a window and then put cane on the outside edge, you really need to install it in a wooden frame. I don't recommend you hanging anything from zinc, because zinc is a very soft metal as well. And when people hang things from zinc, they use copper wire, and copper stretches. Eventually it pulls apart. So you can use a cane around the outside, but don't hang anything from cane, please, Mario, or anybody else for that matter. Don't hang. I would put it in a wood frame. Yeah,
or everything has to be connected to the interior, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to put hangers on a sun catcher or on like a 12 by 12 window and do it out of copper foil, you still need to be able to use a stainless jump ring and make it so that it stays and hangs from the window. I just recommend using wood or or make the piece small enough that it's not going to, the hanging it from wire is not going to hurt it.
So basically what the U-came is for is to give a nice edge around the outside edge. It doesn't make it any stronger.
No, doesn't make it stronger at all.
Not the
Barb.
hobby U-came, no. So you would need to connect that U-came to, of course you're going to solder it to your project. So at those joints is where you would put your hanger. So that all needs to be
so that
connected.
everything, so that this is pulling on this, and this is pulling on this, and this is pulling on this, and together they're pulling everything. You have the structural integrity of whatever you're building needs to be considered every time you build something.
Okay, so if you have a question, just put it in the
Please
chat with
do.
the queue. Thank you, Ray. Ray said there is a button. Anyone else? There is a button that says join somewhere on that live stream screen that you can join.
Okay, well that's awesome.
Okay, so
Wow, what a beautiful night, Barbara.
so do you want to talk about your
I got a piece of glass I brought
now?
everybody.
You got it right there, right?
Yeah, I got it right here. I am going to stand up just because I don't want to sit down and hand it to.
Okay.
the
Do you want the main cam or the close up?
I think probably let me clean up the close up cam first and
Okay.
move that stuff out of the way. Sorry about that noise, guys. And I get my stuff right here. Yeah, you know that what Ed said, he can't get his Fletcher cutter to work like that.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of the amount of pressure. It takes a little more pressure on this cutter because that wheel, it's got a steel wheel on it, Ed. It's not a carbide wheel. It's a
It's a
steel
different
wheel.
kind of wheel. So
Yeah, it's
it
a
has
different
a
kind of
different
wheel.
feel.
Yeah. So it feels different. It acts different. And if you're not careful, sometimes it'll talk back to you. All right, so this is a very unique piece of glass. The part number on this is 9011R, R being ripple. But I want to show it to you because we're using this in our sunsets in the Merle's Inlet project. I'm just going to set that right there.
Okay. Let me move this out of your
So
way.
we'll take a cam, close up
Cam close up? Okay.
Well, I don't know, maybe not. This looks pretty good right here.
And what? Oh, that's pretty.
Let me sit down.
This is for the...
This is for the Merle's Inlet project. This is going to be on. We're going to be using this in the cast net windows. This is going to be running across the top of the cast net window.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be gorgeous.
So this is really going to be pretty. This is a Yakagani glass, y'all, and this is such a beautiful glass. And they proudly on their labels say "Made in the USA," and you better believe it. This is a gorgeous glass, y'all.
And what's the number on that, Ed?
This is a 9011R. So I'm guessing they make it not in ripple. I just felt like the ripple was going to do what we needed it to do because I want it to look like the wind's blowing across the water, and this is the reflection of the sky on the water.
So if you can imagine a cast net being thrown and then that in the background behind, it's going to be very, very beautiful.
It's going to be impressive, Barb, I think.
I think so.
And so our video number 4 is coming up, premiering tonight for everyone. And we're really excited about that. Barbara worked really hard on that one. She works really hard on all the videos, and I want y'all to know that. She works really hard on all of these videos. And, you know,
so do you.
my job is just
goodness,
to do that. My job is just to
he's-
work.
Yeah.
But her job is
doesn't
to
do
make it
anything.
look good. That's the thing.
That's the hard part, right?
Yeah, well, it really is, Barbara. So I just want to give Barbara a shout out for all the really, really impressive work she does on our videos and how much she helps me. And thank you, Barbara.
So what do they call that color?
They call that color. Let me see if there's written on it. It's not. But you know what? This
It's
is
like
a.
an orange, brown,
It's a.
opal,
I'm guessing it's a
white.
brown.
A brown, orange, opal.
It's a brown
Ripple.
or orange on white ripple swirled.
Okay.
And it is absolutely gorgeous. But if you look on Yakagani's page, the 9011, well, the description should be there. And we were fortunate enough to have 2 sheets of that, Barb.
Oh yeah, nice.
So we're looking forward. And you know what?
Thank you very
And y'all
much.
may have seen
Thank
that
you.
glass before, way back in the Brook Green project, because we had another sheet of that, but it wasn't a ripple that we used for leaves. Miss Mary wants to say hi, everybody. There she is.
Can you see her?
Hi,
There
Miss
she
Mary. Hi. Mary says
Whoa.
hi, everybody.
Look at you.
She
She's
says
in the video too towards the end.
yeah. So she's just my little girl. That's all she is.
Okay, Out wants to know, how did the name ARTyRV come about? Well, during the pandemic, we decided we were going to, I don't know what we thought.
Well,
Anyway,
we thought we would we would
would
go
do
around to the
shows.
galleries that have our work, right?
that we couldn't be inside, we would be outside and we would do shows. But we had to come up with a name, and we thought ARTyRV, because we thought, well, we may not only do glass, we may do other kinds of art projects.
And we do.
So, and we do, but mostly it's glass. So we thought ARTyRV, and we could not get that name. We tried and tried. We could not get that name. We couldn't get the .com. We couldn't get the YouTube. So we went with ARTyRV. So that's
So
how
when we
came
threw
up
the
with it.
Y in there, y'all, everything came to life. We were able to get every
Got all
possible
of
page
it.
we could
Yeah,
get.
We got all of it.
Yeah.
that
So
was
and then
good.
we added the glass studio on the back end. And we do, y'all have seen them. We've done videos from inside the RV while we're camping. And that's another thing that we do is we go to these communities, and a gallery might be there that handles, that sells our Christmas balls. And this RV allows us to pull up and do a meet and greet outside, for the meet the artist. And we don't have to worry about, going up inside and being in the galleries really close to people if that is how it came out. So it worked out really well.
Can you tell me that? Thank you, Ed. Can you tell me the number of the glass again?
9011 R. R as in radical.
And I'm 9. What is it?
9011 R.
R. I'm not going to put the
It's a Y. It's a Y for Yakagani.
9011
11 R.
R, and it's a Y.
Yeah. So it's a Yakagani.
It's a Yakagani, and that's what it is.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And of course, it's like every other sheet that they make, even though they're using the same colors, the guy mixing them or the woman mixing them is in charge of making that glass look like that. So it's just so exciting. And it's really exciting to watch that stuff being made. So our classes, Barb, y'all, we had the classes last weekend, and they were full, and we had a great time. And the students, of course, you saw their photographs in the newsletter that went out. Mm-hmm. And so they had a good time, and I think a good time was had by all.
Right. And so our next class is April for the lead light class.
Yep.
The
We have a lead light.
21st and 22nd?
Right.
Is that right?
Yes. I can look it up. 21st or 20th. Yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday. Lunch is included. It's a lead light class. So if you can get in it, I know there's space available. I think there's 1 spot available, maybe 2. But it's a lead light class for the weekend, and we're gonna learn how to do lead. We're gonna get the lead out for the weekend.
Yeah,
That's all.
so it's, if you go to
We're gonna talk about a lot of things.
ConwayGlass.com, visit, you can see the dates. So the lead light's in April.
Yes.
Another beginner class is in May. And then we're having a 1-day make and take. I believe the date's going to be June 17th. We've got to look at that date. But that'll be a 1-day for those of you.
10 to 2.
Yeah, 10 to 2. This is for a very, very beginner. We won't teach you how to cut glass, but we will teach you how to grind, foil, and solder.
Right.
And then
And there's no glass cutting experience necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. We are having a 1-day glass cutting speed workshop.
Extravaganza on learning how to cut glass only. We're not going to fabricate anything.
We're just going to spend 4 hours cutting glass.
But for those of you that want to
And
learn
that's-
how to cut glass the right way,
That'll be in July.
you get your cutter, your grouser, and your runners, and you come see us for 4 hours, and we're going to work on learning how to cut glass, and we're going to eliminate all the faux pas about the process.
Yeah, so that should be fun. So we got classes every month for the next few months, and those dates will come out eventually. But 2 of them are
Well,
there.
yeah,
And then
because
June
we're not.
17th.
Yeah, so we're not pushing them out there too far because, you never know what's going on. So we're pushing them out. I think pushing them out 2 months is a big
2
push.
months. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, if you'd like to take a class with Barb and I, go ahead and sign up, and we'd love to have you.
Yeah. Brandon wants to know what made us start doing YouTube.
2 years of hanging out in the house and working.
Pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic caused us to purchase the RV, and why we're doing that, and then we started the YouTube channel, and now what's happened is that the reason we do the YouTube channel now is y'all.
Yeah.
Our community. We're not being forced to do anything. We love this, y'all. Every Monday night, talking to you, answering your questions, and helping you do things. And sharing what Barb and I do for a living with you guys. That's really nice. We enjoy that a lot.
When the pandemic came, we had probably 35 students booked to take classes, and we had to cancel all that. And we did that 2 or 3 times during the pandemic. They let us open, then they shut us down, and finally we had to say we can't teach any classes because we could not keep refunding money. It was just we would get the money, then we'd have to refund all the money. So we decided, we've been teaching classes for
a long time.
25, 30
25
years.
or 30 years, yeah.
And we really missed it.
We did. What we missed was the glass blowing classes are all great and fun, and I've watched several generations of people make Christmas ornaments and bringing their children in after they grow up and what have you. But you know what? Getting back at personal level with teaching the stained glass classes is really much better, and we get to spend more time together, and we learn a lot about a process that's ancient. So,
I have a question. Where are we located, and what hotels are near us? We are located
in Conway, South Carolina.
We have a bed and breakfast right here on the river, in our little river town.
It's called the Cypress Inn. We also have a Days Inn, and we have a Holiday Inn Express opening soon. But anyway,
Ed.
I don't know.
We have a bed and breakfast here in town, but we were also we are also 15 minutes from Myrtle Beach. 15 miles from Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, so depending on the traffic. No, definitely not 15 minutes. But I will say this, the bed and breakfast here in our community is right on the river. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's pretty reasonable. And I think
we have RV resorts all around. So if you need a hotel and you want to be nearby the studio, we'll be happy to send you
and the
some
zip code.
recommendations.
Yeah, and the zip code in the area is 29526.
Yeah.
So that'll get you quite a few hotels.
Yeah, we have a new one going up on Highway 501 that's really good. Yeah, there's some of them you really don't.
Yeah,
know.
some of them, but the bed and breakfast, I can guarantee you will.
You will love it.
You'll love it. It's
Yes.
absolutely beautiful.
I think there's 2 bed and breakfasts here, as a matter of fact. But the Cypress Inn, that's where you want to stay.
Cypress Inn, yeah, you'll like that. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Question. What would be your recommendation on installing a panel in an industrial building? Windows that are framed with metal. Okay.
So you're
That's
talking
a good
about
question.
doing steel sash frames.
Or he might be talking about metal frames.
Aluminum frame?
Aluminum frames.
I don't know.
Are
What's
they
the application? Yeah, that'd be good. That's if you're
Aluminum frames would be a lot easier than steel.
than steel sash frames. Yeah. But the steel sash frames like we have here, these are steel sash frames here. And oddly enough, in this same room, we have aluminum frame here. So
Right,
we
so
have
both.
We have both. So let us know what what your application is, and if you're working with steel sashes or if you're working with aluminum. Because aluminum be much easier because you can use a half by half stop. The steel sashes are a little trickier. Yes.
Okay.
I
am Alan said, I bought a big box of cane at a garage sale for cheap. How do I know if it's lead or zinc?
Well, the lead you can take it and just fold it up in a ball. The zinc, when it bends, will just bend, and that's it. You'll be able to tell you'll know the difference between lead and zinc just when you touch it. So.
Right, you're not going to be able to bend the zinc.
Not as easy, no. No, you won't be able to bend it as easy.
But if he doesn't have cane, well, okay.
Oh yeah, I mean if you don't have a cane bender, you're not going to use your zinc to build windows anyway. So the lead, if you just want to know what's in the box, maybe look on the end because usually boxes on the end will tell you what it is.
Okay, Cindy said she had some old lead cane that was given to her. She scrubbed it with really good wire brush and cleaned it, but it would not take solder. That sounds like zinc. Well.
Yeah, it sounds more like zinc, doesn't it?
Yeah, zinc, you got to get really, really, really hot to solder it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying that you don't know the difference between zinc and lead, but it sounds like if you've cleaned it and it won't take, and you've done it with a wire brush. I mean, I've even gotten everything stopped. Everything
stopped?
Yeah. Freeze frame.
Why? I don't know. Why is it stopped? Oh, what's wrong with the computer? It stopped. Do you see it, Taylor? Taylor, do you see that it stopped? What could it be?
Check this camera over here, see if it's moving.
Should I put up the technical difficulty screen? Let's see if that'll work. No.
What do you mean?
I mean, the camera's not working. I'll put the technical issue again. We're still frozen. Showcase. Oh, that's not what we want. We want a technical.
There you go. Turn it that way. Go that way with it. With your hand. Push your hand that way. There you go. How's that?
Okay.
Look? Hey guys, we're back.
Can
we
they see us?
Yeah, they should be able to.
Okay.
We're back, everybody. We'll just keep an eye on this camera right here. I don't know what happened. Something froze up, but we're in good shape. We're back to you.
Not sure.
Did Miss Mary unplug something? No,
I
Rick,
don't
she
know.
didn't. I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
She's so
Okay.
good. She's laying on the floor relaxing. So.
No sound. No sound. Oh, does it not have any sound?
Oh, you good.
We're
Oh,
good?
All
Okay.
good. Thank you, Julie.
Okay.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah. So, welcome back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different view, right?
It's just a different view.
Viewer showcase.
That's right. Why don't we go to viewer
Yeah,
showcase?
let's go to
Barb?
viewer showcase. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go to viewer showcase.
Here we go.
Here we
Hold
go.
on. Here we go.
Okay. Okay.
I want to
First
say
up.
big thanks to our producer for getting that straightened out.
Yeah, get that all straightened out.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mark Mason sent this in, and this is the repair that Mark sent in. He recently worked on, and the reason we wanted to bring this up is because he brought up the fact that this was a real difficult problem for him. He had Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. All right.
So he had a lot of the customer, I guess, was insane with the packing tape. Is that right?
Yes.
So yeah, I can only imagine.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm sorry.
It looks like a good repair, but y'all, if you get a window that has a lot of packing tape on it and everything, woo-wee, it's a lot of work to remove all that.
I don't know if you can see it. On the left, the packing tape goes clearly from the very top, almost from the top of the window, all the way down past the midsection. And if you've ever tried to remove packing tape...
Goof off don't work that well either.
Yeah,
you know,
it is
acetone.
a nightmare. So be aware, and Mark said this, that if you start on something like that, be aware. It's going to take a lot of time.
Right, and be aware when you charge the customer, as soon as you walk up to the job and you see all that tape, just say to yourself, uh-huh, uh-huh.
That's going to be a
That's
lot
going
of
to be
work.
quite the process, yeah.
And we do have a video on that about the packing tape. So please, let your customer know. Do not, if they call you and said my stained glass window broke, what is the best way to protect that window when it's broken like that?
Really, the best thing to do is just to put a piece of transparent plastic or something and put your tape on your woodwork. Don't put it on your glass. Just cover the hole. That's all you want to do. Don't be putting clear packing tape on the glass, because as soon as it gets hot, it's not coming off. It's kind of like putting masking tape on your windows during a hurricane. Please don't do that either.
Right.
All that does is make sure you get bigger shards flying around the room.
Okay, next
Stays
up.
together.
We picked this one because it was so sweet. I love this Space Bug by Pauline. It's a light bulb. So it's made of stained glass, a huge light bulb. And I just think it's really cute.
Yeah, like
it's a
maybe
great
a
way to upcycle.
200-watt light bulb or something. It's crazy. I love
So
it.
you can make them all different sizes. Great way to recycle your cut-off glass plus your light bulbs.
Right.
I love it.
And if you keep in mind that the screw-in part at the bottom of the light bulb is copper, because that's what finishes the grounding process in the light bulb. So you can... This is a great idea. I love it. And congratulations, thumbs up on that one, because
Yeah,
I really,
that
really
was
love that design. So
Now, y'all remember, send us in your photos. We'll be happy to show them. Just type in viewer showcase and apply for it at conwayglass.com, ARTyRV.
please do, because this month those two photos were great. They really were.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so
There we have it, right there, Barb.
I know. That's funny, right?
Yeah, it is. It's funny, and it gives us a great view of the stained glass window, the fish sculpture hanging behind you.
Yeah.
So it gives us a different view in the studio here. And I'm sure it's...
I forget the camera's there. I keep looking there.
That's okay. Look right over here.
Okay.
Let's look right over here at this
Over
camera.
here, look at
Why
that
don't we look
camera.
over here?
Okay.
I forget it
Lisa
too. So.
says she's late again. Okay.
Okay. That's all right.
I think she has to fix dinner for her husband or something. I'm not sure. Interesting idea with the light bulb. Okay. Any questions out there?
Yeah, because I like that
Ray
light
likes
bulb.
this view.
Yeah, you like this view, Ray? I
Okay,
like it too.
Maybe we'll change the view.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Why not? Okay.
yeah.
If you have a question, put it with Q. We have a premiere coming up tonight.
8 o'clock. Don't
8
forget.
o'clock. You
gotta.
have 5 minutes between 8 and 8:05 because there'll be a little countdown there.
You can
for
take a
you.
Miss Mary break, and then you come back and check out the premiere.
Grab a sandwich, a cup of coffee, some tea.
Coffee. Don't let me forget coffee.
Oh yeah, you need to get some coffee
I did.
tonight.
I did.
Coffee and lemons.
Yeah. So, y'all, this has been a great Q&A, I think. Sorry for the difficulties, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you just can't control it. So.
Magali said this would be a good stained glass powder. I guess that's why I like it, because it kind of looks like stained glass, right?
Well, it does, yeah. It sure does. It's
It
really
does.
pretty. I like it. Yeah, Barb's got those Life is Good shirts, and
They're my favorite.
they're her favorites.
Yeah.
They're made of a material, y'all, that is just so soft.
Do you grind your own coffee beans? Sometimes.
Sometimes we do. Yeah, sometimes we do.
Yeah.
We like that. We have our French
We were talking
press.
about that the other night. Yeah.
We were.
It's just so noisy and messy.
Well, yeah, when you're, we used to do it at home quite a bit, but it is
Yeah,
noisy
French
and
press.
messy. Yeah,
Yes.
French press is the way to do it.
Yeah.
But we have French press doesn't hold 3 cups of coffee. It barely holds 1. So
We drank a lot of
we
coffee.
drink a lot of coffee. Usually between the 3 of us, it's 2 pots in the morning, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then throw Miss Mary in the car and off to work. She's quite the gal now, let me tell you.
Okay, if you have a question, put it in the chat with a Q, and we'll be happy to answer it. Ed'll be happy to answer it. What time zone are we in? We're Eastern.
We're in Eastern, so like right now it's about 3 minutes to 8, and we are gonna think about what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. Miss Mary's already had her dinner, and give us a question. There's a question.
Joyce, what should I use to stick glass to a mold so I can solder the pieces together? I don't want to use pins. Museum glue?
Museum glue works, yeah. Museum glue will work, sure enough. And museum glue is just just a tacky, stretchable substance that won't stick to anything but temporarily, and it comes right off. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're using a mold and you don't want to use pins, yeah, I would use museum wax. It comes in a little thing, looks like sucrets or whatever. So
Yep.
then you just take a little pinch, put it on your glass, and stick it on your mold, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and you can reuse it over and over again.
Yeah, you just keep reusing it. It's really good stuff, right?
Where would you find the museum glue? Do I have it on my Amazon page?
I don't know if you do or not, but we have it here because Barbara, when she's
Trying to
photographing glass, she sticks it so it don't roll around.
I'm not sure, but I'll check. I thought it was on our Amazon page, but I'll check.
So
If not, it will be.
yeah, the museum glue is definitely the way to go. So
Okay, everyone, we got just a few minutes. I want to tell everyone
I want to tell everyone thank you for tuning
thank
in
you for
tonight.
tuning in to Glass Night, and I hope you stick around for the premiere of the program. We'll be doing how to add the copper foil into the lead window. So Ed goes through the whole process of how he constructs that window and puts the copper foil into
Inserts
the lead,
it into the lead.
inserts it into the leaded window. So I think you'll learn a lot from
So
it.
I'm going to ask you for 10 minutes of your time tonight. Watch the video
Just 10
complete.
minutes.
Just 10
That's-
minutes. Thank you so much. And any more questions?
Just where to find a while back you mentioned to use antifreeze for the grinder. What would that be? Any antifreeze or RV antifreeze?
No,
Any
that would be any
And you
antifreeze.
just need a little tiny cap full.
Yeah, and you just really need a couple drops of it. Yeah. because it's going to keep those diamonds cool. Oh, and by the way, Sunshine has their small 3/4 inch grinder bits on sale with free shipping in case you're needing a new grinder bit.
Oh,
give 'em a
that's an
holler.
awesome deal.
Yeah, I had that. So their grinder bit is 30% off, 33% off their grinder bits for their 3/4 inch bit, and it's a mica bit, so it's a good bit, and it's a smooth bit, so it's not going to chip things such as if you did need to grind your mirror because it didn't get cut right or something. You can also use that. But yeah, Sunshine's got their the 3/4 inch diameter grinder bits on sale by Mica, 33% off with free shipping.
That's awesome. That is great.
It really is. And we had we got our Ruby Flux taken care of tonight.
Yes. And I think we've answered all of the questions.
I hope we have.
From the week that came in on the videos. So we'll be answering questions this week. If you're watching a video, you have a question, just pop a question in the comment section. We check those every morning.
We sure do.
While we're drinking our 2 pots of coffee, we're answering your questions.
Yeah, so put it in the comment and you'll get an answer either from Barb or myself or even both of us. I don't know. But just remember, we appreciate your watching and we appreciate you sharing our channel with your friends, and hopefully it'll help them out, and hopefully it helps you out too in this beautiful world of glass that we're all involved in.
Okay, I had one more thing.
Okay.
Joyce wanted to know about the grinder bit. What do you put on it to avoid the problem?
The anti-seize, you're going to use just Phillips milk of magnesia inside the Allen screw. And what that does, y'all, is it fills up the threads so that the glass dust doesn't get in there. And when the glass dust hardens, it becomes like cement. So you can use Phillips milk of magnesia even on the shaft. But the threaded part is definitely requires the Phillips milk of magnesia. And, Sunshine Glass, they're in Buffalo, New York, Barb, just outside of beautiful Niagara Falls.
That's right. And happy Easter, everyone.
That's right. We won't see you till after Easter. Happy Easter weekend, everyone.
Sunshinesglass.com. Ray just put that in the chat.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. And you guys, we will see you
next Monday night
at the premiere.
Yeah, we'll see you at the premiere.
We'll be talking at the premiere. It's coming up in
right.
just a minute. You got 5 minutes to grab something to eat. And thank you all.
Thank you all for tuning in tonight. And remember, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And thanks a lot for Monday Night Glass Night.
Thank you.